Hey, what's happening, Wargamers? Coming at you this time with a quick unboxing video and going to show you the completed model of the new Ephrael Stern and Kyganil model for 40k. So this is actually one that I've been waiting for quite some while. As many people who follow my channel, follow my page know, I have been a die-hard Sister of Battle player for many years, going back to when I got into the game back in like the early 2000s, like 2001, 2002. And Stern was actually always one of those models. She's been one of my Grail models. I was never able to get the old Black Library metal one that came out, where it was Stern and the Inquisitor. I don't remember his name. So she's always been one of my Grail models. Unfortunately, I've always attempted to get her off eBay, but always get sniped right at the last moment there. So we are just going to take a quick peek at this. So this is exciting because it adds, it's another exciting piece to the to my 40k sisters army, which is really nice. Having looked at the rules, I'm not entirely sure like if her rules really warrant her being an auto include or not. I haven't really decided yet. But anyway, let's take a quick look at the sprues. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get her assembled, and we're going to take a quick look at the model. So we're going to start off. We have Kyganil here, and I have to say I really like the design that they're using right now for a lot of the 40k sculpts. Sure, we're losing a lot of like the multi pose or like the customization you have, but honestly, the trade off is we're getting details like these really awesome like crystal sequences right there. Not to mention that the models themselves are just looking really great. The detail on them is just fantastic. The downside is obviously Kyganil does not have the most dynamic pose, but that is something we can live with. As for Stern herself, again, really great amount of detail on here. I like the detail in the rocks coming out, or the bricks rather, with where it appears that she is landing. I really like the upturned cloak. I know not everyone is keen on it, but I'm actually quite a fan of the fact that the hair. If you look at this piece right there, the hair actually is being swept up. It just gives a really nice dynamic sense to the model. I know some people have been going on doing head swaps for it. I'm personally okay with the way the model looks. I'm really enjoying it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these put together, and we are going to take a quick look at them once that's done. So through the magic of editing, I am back with the completed models. I gotta say, very easy to assemble, even with all the various details on them. She looks absolutely fantastic when she's actually assembled here. Let me see if I can get actually zoom in and focus. There we go. Oh no. There we go. Sorry for the camera shake there. So yeah, that is a whole bunch of detail there. Whole bunch of detail on there, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. You can see there's a couple gaps here and there. Nothing a little bit of liquid green stuff can't solve. If I had any complaints about it, I'm just going to put this down a little bit because it keeps trying to zoom out. I think I have too many stuff in the background here. Let's just get rid of something here. Okay. And we're just going to manually zoom in. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so if I had any complaints on the model whatsoever, it's mostly around the cape on the back here and the backpack. Unfortunately, if you decide to glue everything together like I did in this case, it makes things very difficult to actually get in and get the details of the backpack itself. Now, granted, because she gets painted up in Martyred Lady motif, it's not too bad because I'm going to be basing her black anyway. But still, it's one of those little things. If you want to really get into the details, it does become a little bit more difficult. But overall, the model is great. I love the little details, like all her little rosaries, reliquaries, all that sort of stuff are actually like just being pushed upwards, which is just fantastic. Shows that she's doing the dynamic superhero landing. I like the little touch on the back. You can see her bolt pistol right there as well. Extra little bit of tabard. So all in all, great model. Then we have Kyganil here, and I haven't glued him to the base just yet because I want to do some airbrushing with the actual diamonds on this base. Again, it's nothing incredibly fancy. It's a very static pose, unfortunately. Very easy to assemble, though. but it's still just in general, it's a good model. It's nice. It'll go nicely with Stern here. Actually, looking at it, I got a couple thoughts on how to do some conversions. So I guess at this point, the big question is like, are these two worth adding to an Imperial army? So I mean, one of the upsides is they're 115 points. They have the Imperium detachment, and they do have the special rule that allows you to put them into an Imperial army without breaking any of these special detachment bonuses. So things like chapter tactics, sacred rites, tides for Grey Knights. I mean, that in and of itself, that's, it's kind of a cool big deal. It allows you to give a little bit more flavor to your army, which is really kind of nice. But at the same time, at 115 points for a pair of characters, both of which aren't the toughest characters to begin with, it becomes a little more difficult to justify that, especially considering they're both very much geared for melee. So basically, what's happening is if you're not getting them into melee, you're not really getting the value out of them. Especially considering you have to take them together. I mean, you could always field them as under strength and only take one, but then you're really losing out on a lot of the value of the models themselves. One upside, though, is that they do operate separately. The other upside is that they are able to basically come in through a version of Deep Strike for them. And I mean that can be a big deal. Having them coming through the Webway portal means that they're able to get into a position that you need to support a unit. I could definitely see myself running Stern and Kyganil to support a unit of Zephyrim and Seraphim with Celestine, for instance, and like just bring a lot of things in together at the same time and just really go to town on some stuff. So that's kind of nice. I would say where Stern really benefits, though, is that she does have an unblockable smite, which is actually, that's a really nice thing. It's something that sisters don't have access to. Some armies don't have a lot of access to smite in general. But just in general, the fact that, she rolls 2d6, she gets bonuses against chaos on that one, and, she does D3 mortal wounds against the closest, the nearest visible target within 18 inches. And then, of course, she actually is a better version of the super smite of it, and on a 9+, it's the D6. And that in and of itself is a big deal. Being able to deal that many wounds without allowing for any saves outside of like a feel no pain mechanic, that's wonderful. I think that's something I welcome very much into my sister's army. Then, of course, she's got the Divine Protection rule, so she's got her 4-up invulnerable save. She unfortunately does not have these, as long as I'm not reading this incorrectly, she doesn't have the Sacred Rites ability, so, she doesn't benefit from a lot of things like the Miracle Dice that the sisters have, but she does still have a 4-up invulnerable save, so that's kind of nice, but she also has a built-in -1 modifier to hit rolls against her, so that really protects her, on top of the fact that she is a character, so she can hide by units and vehicles. Kyganil, for all he's got, I mean, his blades allow him to do 2 hits for every 1 attack, so, he effectively has 8 attacks, which isn't too shabby, but, I mean, they're strength 3 and AP -1 damage, so they're not lighting anything on fire. He's got his Harlequin kiss as well, which, yeah, not too bad. The big thing for him is he's basically a bodyguard. You basically bring him along so he can hopefully suck up some wounds from Stern. Basically through a feel no pain mechanic. So it's not something to really rely on, but it's something you can maybe shift a couple of those wounds over to Kyganil with, just to keep them alive a little bit longer. And then one thing, of course, I forgot to mention is Stern for a sister battle is actually stronger and tougher than a typical one, strength and toughness 4. And then she does have her Sanctity Blade, which gives her an additional strength on top of that, AP -3 and a flat 2 damage. She basically is going to mulch Marines, which is really nice. Like I could see her throwing her at a squad of Primaris Marines and just letting her go to town on them. So in the end, I think it really depends on what your army is trying to do as to whether or not she and Kyganil are worth it. I think I will definitely play around with her a little bit. I think I have some ideas on how to maybe fit them into a force. Competitively speaking, I think sisters have some better options available to them, because 115 points is, I mean, you can't really give that up easily, and I don't quite know if competitively she brings 115 points worth of value to the table, especially when you can use that 115 points to start paying towards maybe an exorcist or paying towards some repentia or something like that. So anyway, that is the quick look at Kyganil and Ephrael Stern for the new box right here. Let's see if I can get it into frame. Yeah, so that's the box right there. Really looking forward to using the model myself. Just a joy. I'm looking forward to painting up and adding her to my army. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Of course, you can always find me on social media all over the place. Just look for Aegisbrand Studios. And as always, happy wargaming.